We're here at Base Camp.
We're out here in beautiful Stowe, Vermont. It is absolutely breathtaking.
And it's been an amazing 2 days of getting to know like different builders, hearing about the future of Base, and just jamming with people who are building everything from like the most quirky to the most useful and everything in between.
Hundreds of builders and founders, developers and creators who are all building on Base.
So we're touching all the grass while also shaking all the hands. So Base Camp has been absolutely phenomenal. There have just been a plethora of amazing people to meet. I mean, the who's who of Base and who's building is out here at this event.
So Base Camp unites the developers, creators, and people who explore Web3. Also, I've met a couple of beginners who are at the same time very passionate about Web3. So it's kind of really a friendly space to play, connect, explore, and start developing.
Yeah, we're literally talking to everyone we can. Builders, content creators, traders, as I mentioned. So literally everybody, just seeing what people are doing in the Base ecosystem.
One of the best parts about Base Camp is it feels remote. It feels special that you're here. So as much as we don't want it to be this crazy long travel day, you do want it to feel like, hey, I had this journey to get here and now I'm having this experience. Like everyone's here and you literally are just like all in a contained experience at the same time, which is such a unique environment.
I've traveled here from Ireland, so I've traveled about, I think, 3,000 miles here to beautiful Stowe in Vermont.
Flew in from London, it was a long flight, delayed, came in last night.
I've flown down from Bangalore, which is like probably like 21 hours out. And it has been incredibly worth it. This is my first time ever at a conference that is incredibly fun and is like over 3 days where I hung out, worked out, played games with like the people I've known on the ecosystem for so long. Single-handedly the best 2 days of my year so far.
From my perspective, right, it's a lot of people that I've interacted with online, maybe on Farcaster or around the Base ecosystem. And to me, like, this is the best opportunity to kind of like meet them as people, right? Like, I think a lot of that can get lost through that like text feed. So I think that in its core essence is what Base Camp's about.
I've seen a lot of great like idea sharing and potential collaborations coming out of this, which I think is going to be really exciting. So I think it's part conference and then part like community gathering, which is like a really nice blend.
Jesse talks a lot about like the team that you work with and the builders that you work with and the creators you work with, and that's so much of the motivation for why we do what we do. That's so much of the energy for why we do what we do.
The only way that we can scale to the size that we need to is because the next biggest product or the community or the meme or like the culture is going to come from all of you. And we think that the best way to do that is to bring some of those like brightest minds and people who are pushing the boundaries in one place together. And that should be full of like this type of stuff, like relationship building and just having fun and like exploring ideas and like building those types of networks, because the hard work is like ahead of us, but like doesn't need to be like disseminated in like a seminar session.
I think it shows like a strong dedication to actually like building out the chain, the network, the community, the apps, the builders, and everything on top of it. Like I think it's a really important kind of signal and the seriousness that they're taking in like creating a real thing.
But nothing could have prepared me for just seeing the massive potential that Base has been able to unlock in terms of building out like a very strong developer ecosystem, a massively strong content creator ecosystem, and seeing all of these things like a couple of years down the pipe has just been amazing. Yeah.
When you're in a decentralized ecosystem, you can have your own, business or your own whatever you're launching on chain, but you are a part of a larger conversation that does not exist in the other places. And I think we have all just agreed to the monetization models that have existed because we didn't have an option, right? Now there is a different system being built and it is spinning everything on its head.
Flanker is what it is because I get to meet so many just talented people, really. And like seeing the joy in their face when like a token launch goes well, there's really nothing better. Like being able to equip people with like the tools that they need to experiment and try out new things that will eventually, I think, be kind of like the de facto way to do things on chain. I'm just super humbled to be a part of it.
I started noticing bass, I think it was last year with On-Chain Summer. I had just missed out on the Olympics through an injury, and I saw this sort of creator On-Chain Summer, you can be rewarded for your content. So I thought I have to get involved. So I started making some training videos and helping people to do some workouts at home. And then from that, I was able to reward people on-chain. And then I was getting a few based builder grants directly from Jesse, actually. And then it just encouraged me to carry on using Base, and I've just been rewarded ever since, and I've absolutely loved working with the team, and I actually ended up being a UK ambassador for Base as well.
We've worked with a bunch of different platforms over the years, always like in terms of what we've done, mostly on Ethereum, but also with a bunch of other really good chains as well. I think what we've learned in terms of working with Base is that there's a huge potential around creators, and we really like that in general around what we're building kind of culturally.
Base was the best fit for us. We've been here about 8 or 9 months. It has been a breath of fresh air. You know, we have received a lot of support, whether it be from the Base builders, the Base team, or just the community in general. There's a very like-minded ethos of people that feel like they're here to build the future in some way, shape, or form.
Base represents the intersection of like things that for us as builders we're actually searching for, which is the intersection of like culture and looking at like the whole idea of how do we bring people on chain.
The sense of community here is unmatched, and everyone here is very friendly, and the amount of creativity here is what really brought me and make me stay in the community.
Base to me is an absolute no-brainer. What the team are building is, to me, more than just a product. They are building something that has the potential to absolutely revolutionize the world that we have.
I wasn't super familiar with it really until last year for On-Chain Summer. And that came across my radar, and I was like, yo, what is this amazing opportunity? And like, people in my circle just didn't know about it. And so I did as much research as I could and found out about it. And my production background, I used that to create a video. And it like smashed. Like Jesse saw it, the Base team saw it. A lot of folks started submitting to On-Chain Summer because they now understood what was happening, and it was like a whirlwind. And then I got invited to Base Camp last year, and it's really wild to see how fast things are moving from last year to now. Like it is like they are moving and grooving for real.
So basically, like crypto for me has always been Base. I've never been exposed or introduced to crypto beyond Base. So Base is where I've entered, Base is where I've been, and Base is where I'll be.
In the internet space, and then getting to be here and reflect with all of you in the real space, it was just a special moment. And it made me feel grateful to be here with all of you. And so I guess the last thing to say is have fun tonight, and then tomorrow we get back to work. New day one.
Base was born out of Jesse following his instincts and his intuition and his gut. He was like, what I'm doing right now is not what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not making me happy. If he wouldn't have listened to that, if he would have just come, all right, I got a job, I'm just gonna do the work. He followed his instincts and he was like, there's something else I'm supposed to be doing. And he created Base. And that is what is creating this entire thing, which is literally just to say, if you start doing what you love and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that makes the world a better place for every single person.
He is replying to every builder, he's testing out products, he's buying and supporting content coins or project coins. He's running 200, 250 member, 300 member team at the same point in time. He's talking to like SEC man or like, I don't know, like the biggest founders across the world. So it's, I mean, he's one of those few people where you're like, fuck, like, does he actually have 24 hours in a day?
The thing about Jesse is that he's such a great leader. And the one thing as a creator that I really appreciate is that he really stands by the creators. So especially when it comes to things like coining content, that is something that's very scary for a lot of creators. But Jesse, literally, I'm in a Telegram group chat with a lot of creators. And I was like, I'm really scared to coin a post. I'm a professional athlete and I've seen a lot of people kind of have bad experiences. And he was like, just post it and I'm gonna basically like defend you, just do it. So I did it and he stuck to his word, and I never actually had a negative experience. And if it wasn't for Jesse, I don't think I'd be this comfortable, like just being on chain, sharing my content, not just in Web3, but also in Web2 as well. And he's always been amplifying myself and other creators.
Like the second video I posted, I think he reached out to me and he was like, great content you're doing, like keep it up.
Within 30 seconds, Jesse understood exactly what we were building, exactly why it was important, why it was needed, and asked somebody to actually invest in us. And I will never forget what that means for us, yeah.
Like, he's my benchmark for like how to approach things in positivity, in perpetuity. Like, I've never seen Jesse with like a negative remark. It's always like constructive feedback. Everybody else can be like, can throw shade and can take shots. I've never seen Jesse do it in personal, private, or public. I look up to him. I'm inspired by him a lot. The biggest takeaway from him obviously is like energy and positivity.
Jesse is a legend. I was able to give him a Doge plushie today. He told me personally that he loves Doge and he's so excited about all the memes that are coming to base. He's an incredible builder. You know, he comes, he shows up every day. Every day is day one. And I think that's very impressive.
Yeah, get the video. Yeah, we love the Doge. I mean, we love all of the memes on Base. I tweeted this out the other day. Every meme and piece of content on Base has a special part in my heart. That is literally how I feel. It's like when people are putting memes on chain, when they're creating content on chain, they are writing to our collective consciousness, the culture of Base.
Who is leading your company is everything. Jesse's optimism is all over Base. Like how he lives his life and how he attacks his work is how all of us do. And it is why how old are we? 2.5 years old, maybe? That's why we've been able to get to where we are. That's why we have this community of optimistic, brilliant, international builders, creators. Yeah, he really is the driving force. Him, his personality, his energy, his optimism, his excitement, he's so dialed in and he's so focused. And when you have that as a leader, everyone else on the team is the exact same way.
I really hope that people are excited about the future. You know, we spend so much time in the weeds on futuristic technology and new products, but getting together in person and seeing how what you're doing fits into the broader Base ecosystem and economy is always really exciting and inspiring. So I hope people leave here energized to continue building and starting to understand a bit more on the creator side why creators matter for Base as sort of our next chapter.
I would say it's just amazing to have 500 people in the same physical space, hanging out, chatting, communicating, collaborating, bouncing ideas for 2 days.
Yeah, I personally feel like I'm in Base all the time. So I thought I knew everyone, but there's hundreds of builders here who I've never met, building the next big thing. So it's really inspiring to be surrounded by beauty, talking about the future, vibing with our peers, and creating connections to raise the entire ecosystem up.
Last year I was a junior, and then this year I was supposed to be a senior, but I actually stopped going to high school and I did online during the summer. So like I'm done with that chapter of my life. Like I'm all in on Base ecosystem.
And everything's changed for me now. And the unfortunate part of this is that my bar is a little too high.
It's been an amazing 2 days. I'm so grateful for Base Camp, and I'm looking forward to just continuing to build out inside of this particular ecosystem.
I love builders and creators. Getting to be around people who are like finding their way to change the world for the better is such an important source of energy and just something that makes me so happy and makes me so excited for the world.
There's a Film 3 t-shirt.
We're bringing all the filmmakers in the world on chain.
Yeah.
And it's fucking hard. Like, it's fucking hard doing this. Nothing good comes easy, and the best things are hard. And so I see that hard work, I sit with the hard work, I calibrate constantly to try and figure out how do I make it work for me and balance with my family and my wife and son. But I recommit every day, every week, every month to doing this good work to bring the world on chain, to build a global economy that increases innovation, creativity, and freedom. It's gonna be awesome. And the people here, the people watching this maybe in the future, they were part of it. We were all part of it.